host of the Gridiron.
Yeah, I said I can't blame him at all. Yeah, a lot of it's with Mr. Stafford here. It's all on him. You know what I mean? Obviously, right? What is he looking for, right? Because he only has so many years left, right? And, hey, if you don't want to come to, I understand, right? As I said, you always look at obviously the offensive line. Yeah, it's not even so much maybe like, well, the offensive line stinks. Well, it's like, well, maybe not so much the offensive line stinks, but they always seem to get guys get injured, right? And then things start happening, right? Um, they won 3 games. A lot of times teams go from first. I don't want to say first to worst. Worst to first. But a lot of teams, with the parity the NFL wants, you can have 3 wins one year if you bring in a couple good free agents, have a good draft. You can certainly make a jump. But the thing is, like with the Rams, right? I mean, their coach McVay, fantastic coach, right? He knows what he has. Stafford knows what he has there. That's where they live. Now, I'm not sure, what, maybe Stafford was out there trying to, see what he was worth on the open market, right? See, the Giants obviously offered him a nice boatload of cash, but you figure, they made it to the playoffs last year. They lost to the Eagles, right? So he's on a team that's, is quite possibly, right, the, winning is, his final few years is that, he's making money. Don't get me wrong. But, the Giants did throw a nice chunk of money at him. But, I guess if he started weighing stuff out, I guess he wants to go back, maybe working, maybe has a chance to win another trophy, right? He only has so many years left, right? So as of right now, the Rams give him the best chance, and that's where I can't blame the guy at all. Can't blame the guy. Matthew Stafford shockingly reacts to a $100 million trade offer from the Giants. Giants lost out in their attempt to pay for Matthew Stafford to help make a blockbuster trade happen. How badly did the Giants want to trade for Matthew Stafford? How about $100 million worth of badly? That's quite a bit, right? Why did the unhappy Rams quarterback on Friday opt to stay in Southern California by agreeing on a restructured contract rather than coming to the Big Apple? There is something badly about that, too. Giants clearly pursued the 37-year-old Stafford aggressively over the last week, so aggressively that multiple reports suggest that they were willing to throw up to $100 million into a new contract for him as part of a trade. New York found itself in the sweepstakes for the veteran passer, despite concerns over the team's 3-14 record, making it a lesser destination. And indeed, even with cap space, with the allure of receiver Malik Nabers and the urgency of general manager Joe Schoen, it seems Stafford's reaction in the end was one in which he viewed New York as a place where he wasn't going to be able to win big. Nope. Stafford threw for 3,762 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in 2024, indicating he still got tread on his championship tires. He was within one possession of when they wound up losing in the playoffs. So, right, not many other teams could say that. Right, he would have given New York instant credibility as a playoff contender, making them viable against teams with star quarterbacks, but still not good enough, it seems, in Stafford's eyes. Instead, the Giants will have to pivot. That plan now almost certainly includes a rookie quarterback drafted with the top 3 pick in their possession. Colorado's obviously Shedeur Sanders and Miami's Cam Ward are expected to be top 10 picks, but if New York prefers, it could trade up to number 1 with the Titans. Giants will also be expected to bring in a starting caliber veteran quarterback in free agency, such as Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, or Aaron Rodgers. None of these options can claim to be as potent as Stafford last season. Giants will try to use Plan B to win, and the Rams, they are sticking with their Plan A. Well, I mean, I said, Rodgers, I mean, he had some really good numbers last year, right? No doubt about that. We'll talk about Rodgers in just a second. But, he would be expensive. The thing is with Rodgers is, to bring him in is that, he's definitely on, and you don't even know how many more years, he's got, left in him. I mean, he could play one more year. He could play 1 year with the Giants, and it's like, I'm out of here. I'm getting beat up too much. I'm out of here. I'm retiring. You know what I mean? So, but I said with Stafford, I said, you can't really blame the guy. See, a lot of the teams, obviously, that were after him, like maybe like the Raiders or, they weren't very good teams. He lives out in Southern California, right? He's comfortable out there. He's been out there for a few years now. He's got a great coach, very, very good coach, great offensive-minded coach. They said they were, in the playoffs they lost, but they were within one possession, right, of pulling off a big upset. So, they'll go back to the drawing board. Now, I think with the Rams, I'm not sure if it was last year or this year coming up, is like the first time that they actually had a first round pick in the longest time, right? So I don't know let me see. Let's look at this real fast here. Los Angeles Rams draft picks. Here we go, 2025. Okay. What do I got here? Does it got that? Okay. So they got a pick number 26 overall. Guess they don't have a second round pick, but they got 2 third-round picks. They got a 4th round pick, a 6th round pick, 2 6th-round picks. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 6th-round picks. They got 3 6th-round picks. 1, 2, 3. A 4th, 2 thirds, and they do have a 1st. I mean, I know there was a period of time there with the Rams where they were just trading away their 1st-round picks. Right, so they had a long stretch of time where they didn't have a 1st-round pick. But I'm not sure how much money they have in free agency, right, to spend. But, they bring in a few veterans, right? I'm not sure. And then again, too, I'm not sure who they're losing in free agency as well, right? But I said, but as long as you got McVay, if you got a quarterback, okay, you got McVay, and you can, do a good job in the draft, they'll have a shot. They'll certainly have a shot. There's no team down there. I mean, San Fran maybe bounces back. We'll have to wait and see. Right? But I mean, they're once again, they're in a very good position, to at least go back to the playoffs once again. As I said, for Stafford, I mean, you couldn't say that about the Giants. I mean, Giants win 3 games, right? If they somehow they went from 3-14 to 8-9, that would be a huge jump. But we're still not making the playoffs, And as I said, if their offensive line once again keeps getting banged up and hurt, and we keep getting all these different offensive line, being put in there. And I said we had 10 different offensive lines in there last year, 10 different offensive line combinations. That's a formula for disaster, right? And also the Giants, the team has a nice history of players getting injured, right? So Stafford to turn down the thing, I don't blame him at all. Can't blame the guy at all, But I mean, once again, I mean, it's one of the problems about being like as the league looking at you as like you're a dumpster fire, right? Injuries, you're a dumpster fire, a poorly run organization. This, that, no, just some guys just they don't want to come here, right? So.